I think foremost, Churchill believed in diplomacy. So he was a great believer in, face-to-face contact. As we know, he did innumerable flights during the Second World War, various summits, conferences. He was on the move all the time. So he was a great believer in doing things face-to-face, rightly or wrongly. I mean, it put him at risk. Wasn't good for his health. On at least one occasion, he was knocked down. But he believed in seeing people in person. And I always got the impression that Stalin was not a terribly nice person. I mean, he was a family man, married, had children. But somehow he won Churchill over. I mean, it's the same with Roosevelt, actually. They both quite liked Stalin. Now, obviously, with a hindsight, we're horrified at that. We go, well, he killed more than the Nazis did. But when he wanted to be, Stalin was quite personable. And also, you have to say, Stalin must have been quite personable on occasions, or he wouldn't have stayed where he was for so long. At some point or other, he would have been removed. So, yes, I think Churchill felt that he and Stalin were, I don't think we can say friends, but certainly they had this very, very close working relationship. And the problem Churchill had was, on the whole, Stalin couldn't be relied upon. He'd say what you wanted to hear and then do what he wanted to do. And that was how he operated. But for Churchill, the key thing where Stalin kept his word was over Greece. And obviously what Churchill rather cynically did, I don't think he meant to, but he traded much of Eastern Europe as a Soviet area of influence to meddle in Greece. And now, as we know, as the Germans withdrew towards the end of the Second World War, the communist guerrillas and the resistance there was one of the more powerful resistance groups that, had been facing down the Germans. And of course, there was a danger that they would take power. And of course, what Churchill desperately wanted was an undertaking from Stalin that he would not support the communists in Greece. And actually, Stalin was true to his word. He didn't. Now, obviously, Greece was consigned to a number of years of civil war. Britain had to commit troops. But Greece was saved for democracy. So I think after that, Churchill always felt that actually Stalin was a man he could do business with. Now, you have to say what became known as the Naughty Document, which was written on a napkin, which basically gave Stalin carte blanche in Eastern Europe. It wasn't a good trade-off, was it? Signing off Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria. If Stalin could have done it, Yugoslavia. Now, obviously, Tito proved to be his own man, as did Enver Hoxha in Albania. Both Yugoslavia and Albania obviously actually fell to communism, but resisted being part of the Soviet bloc. But I think the whole thing with Greece, and of course for Churchill, because he'd failed to save Greece in 1941, he and Anthony Eden were desperate not to fail it again towards the end of the Second World War. What's the other to that?
We stay genuine, uncensored and unscripted, and we always will, as we have to order our usual. Share us and subscribe us, and stay tuned until the next Wednesday. Iguzo!